What up, my shrublings? Demon Shrub here, and welcome to Shrub Town. On today's episode, we're going to talk about what the 5 most impactful Hearthstone Boomsday cards are of this expansion. So, number 1 on my list is Giggling Inventor. This card is a 5-cost 2/1, summon 2 1/2 mechs with Taunt and Divine Shield. So, I don't know about you guys that played Goblins and in the Gadgetzan expansion, but Annoyotron was the most annoying card in the game. And this summons not only 2 of those, but also has a 2/1 body attached to it. So essentially you're getting 4 5 in stats, plus 2 minions with Divine Shield on it, for a total of 3 minions. That's pretty strong. One part of it that notices, and you can kind of get how strong it is that it's played in almost, or I think over 50% of the decks in Legend rank. That's huge. Cards under that are played in 10% of the decks, 12% of the decks. This card's in over 50% of the decks. It's really good in aggro decks, it's really good in control decks, and it's the number 1 contender that might be nerfed in the next balance patch. So watch out for Giggling Inventor. You should include it in almost all of your decks. There's very few decks that won't be using this awesome 5-card drop. Next up on the list is Demonic Project. Demonic Project is a super cool 2-cost demon spell, or warlock spell. Each player transforms a random minion in their hand into a demon. Wow. So this is actually one of the biggest combo counters in the game since Dirty Rats and Skulking Geist. This completely shuts down Malagos Druids, Shutterwalk Shamans, Togwaggle Druids. It's awesome, and it's just a 2-mana card that makes all of these late game combo threat decks really scared because they can't hold on to their big minions and they can't just run one copy of them. Or they have to run many minions in order to make it so Demonic Project just hopefully hits another copy of a minion. So number 3 on my list as well is War Gear. War Gear I also included on my list of one of the cards I was most excited for. It's a 5-mana 5/5. Vanilla stats, it's a mech. Why is it so cool? Well, because I kind of compare it to Blessing of Kings, which is that 4-mana paladin spell, give a minion +4/+4. The really cool thing about this is that this minion already comes with a body. So let's say you're playing Paladin, you don't have a minion on the board, you have to Hero Power for 2 mana and then buff it with Blessing of Kings for 4 mana for a total of 6, and you're still just getting a 5/5. The really cool thing about War Gear is, first off, it's magnetic. So it's going to fuse with any other mech you have on the board. Let's say you have Mechanical Whelp, which is a 2/2 minion, Death Rattle, summon a 7/7 dragon. Your opponent doesn't want to deal with it. They want to leave it as a 2/2. Let's say you play that on turn 6, turn 7, you follow up with War Gear. You have a 7/7 mech that can attack, again, that turn as a 7/7, and when it dies, it spawns a 7/7. That's pretty cool too. So again, it's included in almost every single mech deck, if not every single mech deck. It's a really strong pick. Even decks that are running Giggling Inventor run War Gear just because it's a buff to your Annoyotrons the turn after that. So next one on my list is actually Spider Bomb. So we'll go up to well, any of these really. We'll just go to Shrub Hunter. We'll see if we find a Spider Bomb in here. So Spider Bomb is this magnetic minion. Death Rattle, destroy a random enemy. It's insanely strong. So not only the fact that it's a magnetic mech, which means it can fuse with other mechs, it also has a really strong Death Rattle, destroy random enemy minion, which is just huge. This is used not only in aggressive early game strategies to deter aggressive decks, so they have to trade 1 or 2 of their minions into it, but also late game decks, when you're up against 6 or 7 minions on the enemy team. Let's say you play this for 3 mana on the board, you get out 2 Firework Techs, you get out 2 Play Dead, and your opponent's in a lot of trouble. Play Dead, trigger friendly minions Death Rattle, minions Death Rattle, so you have the 3 costs originally, then 2 Firework Techs, 2 Play Deads. You've killed 5, 6+ minions on your opponent's side of the field if you traded in your Spider Bomb as well into one of theirs. So it's really strong. It's used in every single Death Rattle Hunter deck just because of its strength alone. You really don't even need many more mechs with it just because of how strong it is. And then my 5th pick is actually in this deck as well. It's called Mecharoo. I just really like this card. Again, it's just a 1-cost 1/1, so what makes that so strong? Well, you can kind of compare it to Possessed Villager. which was a popular Warlock card back in the day that was a 1/1 Death Rattle Summon a 1/1 minion. The thing that makes this so much stronger than that last minion, than Possessed Villager even, is that both of these minions, Mekaru and Joeybot, are mechs, meaning that they're going to come back with even more power. So Mekaru, you played on turn 1. Let's say it dies on turn 2. You can follow it up with a Venomizer if you want, just to turn it into a 3/3 still. Then follow it up on turn 3 with a Spider Bomb. So these mechs just get stronger and stronger, and Mekaru is the start of that. Mekaru is really how it becomes a strong minion in the first place. So again, those are my top 5 cards. Again, going over it very quickly, we have Giggling Inventor in the number 1. Then we have Demonic Project in order to counter all those control decks, that are combo decks. Then we have War Gear, the super strong 5/5 buffing minion. Then we have Spider Bomb, and then we have Mekaru. Those are my top 5 most impactful cards of the Hearthstone Boomsday Expansion. Thank you all of my Shrublings, and I'll see you next time in Shrubtown.